Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. My name is Tommy Wave, and today we'll be taking a look at Elementalcore100's Odd Dragon Warrior. Two things that we're very familiar with, Elementalcore100 and Odd Warrior. Elementalcore100, one of the fantastic content creator, also posts a lot of content to Hearthstone, things like that, so definitely jump over. If you check in the description, if you're watching on YouTube, there will be some links over to the Hearthstone deck article. Go check them out, go check out their YouTube as well, everything that they're doing. And what they've got here for us today is Odd Dragon Warrior, another deck that we played a fair bit of, and I must say it was a deck that didn't really impress us, or it felt like it needed some more work to be done. And I think there has been a lot of figuring out of the archetype, but I think when we played the Odd Quest Warrior, I think that deck jumped out as just being a step ahead of this deck. But still, there are some reasons to play this deck. There's a really nice mid game, a lot of awesome 5-drops like Dynamatic, Dragonmaw Scorcher, Emberscale Drake. Super Collider is tremendous right now. A lot of boards getting a bit wide, you can really punish them. And some good 3-drops here with the Smolderthorn Lancer. Stonehill Defender is always great to play. Lots of board clears with Reckless Flurry plus Hero Power, or just Brawl. So there's a lot of stuff to like about the deck. Oh, and of course the amazing single targeted removal of Shield Slam. But there are a couple of things to dislike, and mostly that the deck doesn't have a large late game. You know, we're really leaning quite heavily on Dr. Boom and Omega Assembly in Elementalcore's list. Other decks reach for cards like Ysera as well, which I can definitely get behind. But a lot of those cards, compared to things like Blood Reaver Gul'dan and Void Lords and things like that, compared to, you know, Mecha'thoning your opponent out of the game, compared to even Hakar and things like that, they're just a little bit slow, and they're just not as high impact. You know, Mecha'thon obviously just kills your opponent if you go off. And I don't think a deck like Odd Dragon Warrior is necessarily set up very well in order to pressure those decks and make them have to, you know, do more than just drawing cards and assembling their combo, or, you know, getting value and setting up. Which I think is a key weakness of the deck. Regardless, like I said, there's a lot to like about it. I think if we get paired up against some of those other mid-range matchups, we're going to have a pretty good time. Some individual choices that Elementalcore has made here. Like I said, there's no Ysera in here. I think Elementalcore has kind of cut some of the late game out of the deck by not playing Ysera, and also cut some of the early game out of the deck. We don't have any Eternium Rovers in here. There's no kind of cheeky rush package in here as well, with like a Town Crier or two, and maybe trying to fit some other rush minions in here. Just really focusing on that mid game. As you can see, 13 5-drops, which is colossal. That is a mountain of 5-drops. I think most other decks out there you'll find will start, you know, cutting on the Direhorn Hatchlings or not playing them at all. Maybe cutting on the Super Collider as well. They play less of the 5s and 3s in order to fit those 1s and 9s in. But anyway, we'll jump into some games with the deck. Some things to keep an eye out for. Really just how well that late game is performing. You know, are we just kind of getting to the late game but just getting crushed by other decks? Or are we getting there and we're really, you know, asserting our dominance and taking control of the board? We also just want to pay attention to kind of that mid game. If we kind of get a glut of all these kind of 3 and 5 mana cards, is that really bad? Or because we have cards like Reckless Flurry and Brawl, cards that we often only want to deploy that one card on that turn, is it going to be okay if we kind of flood on a lot of those 3 and 5 mana cards? Regardless, let's jump into some games, and even if we don't get some wins, let's try and get some learns. Let's go! Okay, here up against the Mage. Now, there are a lot of different Mage decks out there, but I think the most common one we've been seeing at these ranks has been Odd Mage. Bit of an awkward-ish draw here. I think we do want to send everything back. Cards that we're looking for would be Reckless Flurry, Dynamatic, Super Collider, Shield Slam. I think those are our kind of higher win rate mulligan cards. We could also keep Omega Assembly. and just use it to find something in the early game, but then that's one of our few late game cards. So I think we might have to lean a bit on that. We got our Stonehill, which is great. I think that's definitely one of the key things. Not having Eternium Rover in the deck is that we're really going to struggle to establish any kind of board control. You know, if we don't have a 1 or 2 drop, and then our 3 drop is a 1/4. So we are going to be leaning on that Reckless Flurry pretty heavily. I don't know. Not with the most punishing draw, so we might consider ourselves lucky. But yeah, Eternium Rover actually represents, just going through some of the stats on other Odd Warrior decks, Odd Dragon Warrior decks, Eternium Rover does have the highest mulligan win rate, which makes sense because it's a 1-drop. But it does improve the deck's percentages pretty significantly. I think we'll go for the Stegatron here. Yeah, it does improve the deck's percentages pretty significantly, so... yeah, that's a great draw. Definitely coin that out.
Light the fuses!
So matching up pretty well against this, what I can only assume is Elemental Mage. And I guess we are going to see truly whether this the late game of this deck, how it compares to something like Frostlich Jaina, which I get the vibe is going to be really good against us. So I'm going to go for the Super Collider here, even though it's going to freeze us. I think getting the big 2-for-1 there is definitely worth it. We've got we've got a good 7 next turn, so it's not exactly like we really need to keep the flyer on board. Ooh. Would have loved to play that Dr. Boom. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have another Blaze Caller. We can maybe get a little bit of breathing room and land this Dr. Boom, but at the same time, maybe we want to take more advantage of that tanker.
Out of my jungle! When Earth moves, empires fall.
I do think we want to kind of go for the boom here. Gives this Stegatron rush as well. Alternatively, we could go for Smolderthorn Lancer, Emberscale Drake. Yeah, let's do that.
My dragon be hungry.
Job done.
Oh, we didn't actually have a dragon in our hands. That's unfortunate. Now we've turned off our other Smolderthorn Lancer. Definitely should have gone for the Direhorn actually there. I think. So I think we'll trade here and get Dr. Boom down.
I'm so
delivery drone is great. Yeah, I think we'll take a security rover. Definitely nowhere near Mechathon, as much as we'd love to live the dream.
Break yourself upon my body.
It's a big boy. Break yourself. I think we might just try to bait our opponent into a bit of a brawl. Yeah, we'll take an Omega Defender. Try and bait our opponent into a nice chunky brawl of sorts. As much as I would love to silence this Ozrook. Beazzle, what's up? Tommy Oven friends, we're doing very, very well. Just playing some Odd Dragon Warrior right now. Deck comes to us courtesy of Elementalcore100's. Ooh, I like that. Mountain Giant with the Book of Spectres. Alright, so we could go like Ironbeak Owl, silence this, then brawl. So this increases our chances of getting both of these things dead, which is very good and kind of reduces our downside a little bit. But yeah, Beazzle, we're doing well. Oh, not doing so well now that our opponent's got a Frost Lich Jaina down. How's your New Year's? Get up to anything interesting? Anything juicy? I think I'm actually going to go for this Omega Defender rather than armoring up. It does kind of seem, if our opponent's playing Book of Spectres, they're very unlikely to be playing cards like Blast Wave. They're probably leaning quite a lot on the new 6 mana card. Ooh, that's got to be the lowest of rolls. Is there a 7 mana 1/1? It was really chill, which was great. Went to my partner's fam's place for a week and then kicked around at home. Had a quiet night in for New Year's watching movies. Awesome. Sounds ideal. What? Oh my gosh, they get rewarded. What movies did you watch? Did you watch the my favorite Christmas movie, Die Hard? So we can kaboom and then we can super collider these two. Then maybe we just go for like the Direhorn Matriarch, just because it's the biggest thing. Save our mechs for doing rush things. Save our dragon for doing dragon things. Oof. More incoming. I did not watch Die Hard. I watched a couple of Marvel movies and an Australian movie from the 80s with Sam Neill. Which Australian movie from the 80s with Sam Neill? I'm sure there's plenty of them. So we can go Rover here, hit it with the next thing. Just feel like we might want to use these shield slams before they start losing value.
Hostile detected.
Good thing is that Mega Defender will kill our opponent very quickly. There is a film called A Death in Brunswick. Oh my god, well it is Brunswick. Oh, they got the blaze caller. Damn. Oh, now seems like a great time to super collide these two. And we can follow it up with a Direhorn hatchling. Yeah, I think I heard about that. Movie, or I've heard the name before.
My
Is it that weird moment? Like, there's a weird moment in Romper Stomper where I'm like, that's definitely Fitzroy. I know that place. Oh my gosh, another elemental. Our opponent's done really well at making elementals here. Reckless Rocketeer. Yikes. Indeed. Unfortunately, we have turned off our Shield Slam and our Reckless Flurry. Hopefully our opponent runs out of gas. In fact, maybe that turn we should have used the Shield Slam knowing that the alternative was that we can't use it anymore. Well, there's the last charge of our Super Collider, so I guess we're glad that we used it.
Our victory shall never end.
Alright, let's hope they don't have the other Arcanosaur. But yeah, that weird moment in movies where you're like, I know that place.
Unity, precision, perfection.
Stop!
We are definitely running low on gas here. I guess our opponent's getting pretty low, pretty deep into fatigue, but I think our opponent can survive significantly longer into fatigue than we can.
My dragon be hungry.
Oh, we got the blast shield, so we can potentially shield slam something next turn. Yep. And the turn after.
Dragon food.
That's the other mountain dragon. So, other than maybe like a Baron Geddon, or a Junalai, we're probably getting pretty low on threats. Oof, lucky. Very lucky.
I'm almost out of cards.
So we've got... We've still got both Omega assemblies in our deck as well, so we might be okay. There's the other Voodoo Doll. We've got a Shield Slam. We're going deep on this one, friends. Beryllium Nullifier? So do we just Shield Slam and Beryllium Nullifier?
This would be a good time for a master plan.
Probably do that. Sucks to not use the delivery drone, but
I'm out of cards.
this card could be quite difficult for our opponent to remove. And what makes sense for them to have in their hand? Oh, there goes the other Omega assembly.
I can see
Oh wow.
your power.
They just let us have it. Interesting. So, the last three cards in their hand, maybe like another Book of Spectres. Can't really think of what else they had in their hand, but I mean, there you go. If our opponent didn't think that their Jaina and that their Jaina could beat out Dr. Boom and 4 extra cards in fatigue, then that does say something about the deck. So GG. Well played to our...
Your death!
Alright, up here against a Druid. Who'd have thunk it? We'll keep the Dynamatic, send everything else back. Don't think we've seen a Druid over on ladder for, geez, a while.
None will
Unfortunately,
survive.
not a great Druid here.
Nature's blessings upon you.
Does seem like Mechathun Druid is the most popular and highest win rate deck for Druid.
Nature's blessings upon you.
Okay, well... Definitely a deck that we are extremely scared of as well. Could also be some kind of like Hadronox, Undertaker Druid, which I think we should also be very scared of. I think every Druid deck is honestly just a bad time for Odd Warrior. Maybe that's why the deck's become so popular post-nerf. I guess it was popular pre-nerf though. Could overdraw our opponent if we wanted to. It's a very tantalizing option if our opponent maybe goes like branching paths, draw, draw. If our opponent does that, I will probably snap off this Dynamatic. Oh, Ferocious Howl. So we can make our opponent burn 2. Seems good.
Light the fuses!
See what we can do.
My hand overflows.
Kind of would
My
have
hand overflows.
preferred them to let Moonfire. Malagos? Maybe they're minus a Moonfire on Malagos now. Porth. Cycling. Still could be Mechathun, I guess. Let's get these chunky dragon boys down. I mean, admittedly, a lot of the Mechathun Druid decks that I've seen are playing Innovates, not Moonfires. Well, now I'm just confused. What is it? It's definitely Mechathun Druid. Oh yeah, some play 1 or 2 Moonfires, it seems. Opponent just going off here. Well, we can't kill this. We can silence it. Which I guess we probably want to do. Part of me is just like, man, what if we just keep it in play? Then our opponent can't play spells. At some point.
I wonder.
Maybe we should have gone for the Omega Assembly. Is there a mech that goofs our opponent? Don't think there is. Pretty sure this is close to an unwinnable matchup. Let's take a look at the matchup percentages over on HS Replay. Yeah, even against Odd Quest Warrior, this deck has a 72% win rate.
Light the fuses!
72%. Which, especially when you're talking about Hearthstone, is a colossal win rate. You know, when we talk about the difference between like a tier 1 deck and a tier 2 deck being like 55% win rate versus 50%. Let's check the archetype results. Archetype win rates versus Dragon Warrior, 80%. Versus Odd Warrior, 83%. Quest Warrior, 73%. Odd Quest Warrior, 73%. 74% for Quest Warrior. So yeah, I think, you know, definitely take this, like whatever our opponent's doing. We've kind of stopped paying attention. They can do whatever they want. You know, let this be a lesson to y'all. Just with these types of decks that sometimes, you know, just try and sneak this Cornered Sentry in. Sometimes your opponents will have matchups like this, and it sucks. Sometimes you just can't win. So, if we are going to try and sneak this cornered sentry in, how are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? I mean, they're clearly just going to try and go for Mechathune, Innovate, Naturalize in order to kill their Mechathune. So if we wait until until they get down to that 3, 4 or 5 cards, because obviously they could have Moonfires and Pounces and stuff like that. If we wait until they get down to around that kind of hand size, then we deploy the Cornered Sentry. But they can just jam things into the Cornered Sentry. So we need to find out another Shield Slam, and we can Shield Slam our own Cornered Sentry. It's the greatest game plan I've ever come up with. Happy to let our opponent get a little bit deeper into fatigue if they want to. So we need to find out the Shield Slam. In fact, I think we need to find both Shield Slams.
I have no cards left.
Pain, speak to me.
If only we had our Dynamatic. So we milled a Moonfire. Did they play any other 0-mana spells? Probably should have paid attention. Probably. No, we needed that. I kind of didn't need that though. So can they go off next turn? Possibly.
I wonder.
They probably can. We definitely shouldn't have played these minions either. Because now it just gives our opponent more things that they can slam their guys into. And we do get an extra... Oh no, they got the gloop. Or they're just getting rid of it. Enemy minion. How frustrating. We can Cornered Sentry, then Brawl, and hope that it leaves them with a Raptor.
Nice little raptors.
Yay! Because they used a Naturalize as well. So unless they have a Moonfire, another Moonfire in their hand. But they might have like Swipe or something. Nice.
so nice.
So all we have to do is just not play a minion. We will hold the Crowd Roaster Smolderthorn Lancer for if our opponent decides to play the Mechathune. But other than that, yeah, we don't really need to do anything. We won't even use the delivery drone, I don't think. Gosh, this is lots of armor, yeah. Or our opponent is, what? 16 cards deeper into fatigue than us. Ah, naturalizing now. So we can't ever kill this Mechathune. We're not allowed to.
This would be a good time for a master plan.
And we can use the Ziliax to... Alright. Why do we play this? We goofed up. We totally goofed that. Now we can't kill the this mechanical dragon.
This would be a good time for a master plan.
Though admittedly it is a 7. So we can't buff it anymore.
Take that!
Yeah, we should have just gone for the Ziliax, because at least that means that like, stops us taking a hit. Our opponent just took 7.
Take that!
So we kill them in 2 hits, right? Because they take 9, 10. Oh, the hero power as well. So 3 hits. I mean, we've got this game. We don't need to play anything else. We almost lost it as well. Almost good. We definitely should have done some fatigue calculations before, you know, going for this game plan. This game plan which we had to get incredibly lucky to actually do anything with. Look at me talking about win rates and all this junk. We committed ourselves to losing, then we found a route to victory. We got lucky to even get there. We almost goofed it up as well. You can't win them all. True. Woo! Jeez. Odd Warrior. There you go. Odd Dragon Warrior. Alright, we're here with Elementalcore100's Odd Dragon Warrior. You know, I'd usually try and record at least 3 or 4 games with a lot of these decks, but it seems like every time we queue up with these Odd Warriors, we always get into some massive games, and that last one was no exception. But the deck performed really well. I think I still am not sure how I feel about cutting Eternium Rover out of the deck. I feel like it's just such an important card. getting dominance early on. It really helps your aggro matchups, particularly against odd paladin. Even allows you to, you know, start building up some armor in the early game against like even paladin, even warlock, these kinds of decks. And with a lot of Beast Hunter around as well, I think it's also a fantastic choice against those decks, as it once again just does help you kind of accumulate a little bit of armor, threaten to trade with a lot of their minions, and in particular stops them from getting that 1-2 punch if they're relying on a card like Springpaw or a card like Jeweled Macaw in order to get their Crackling Razor or Headhunter's Hatchet off. As far as cutting the Ysera out of the deck, that's probably okay. You know, we do still have the Omega Assemblies, we do still have the Dr. Boom, although if we do see more people running Skulking Geist, I can definitely see more of a reason to keep a Ysera in the deck. Regardless, if you are watching this video on YouTube, all the links are down in the description, so please, please, please jump over Elementalcore100, go check them out on Twitter, go check them out everywhere you can, because they're a fantastic Hearthstone content creator. They've been doing it for about the same amount of time as I have, so definitely go check them out. You can also find the link to the deck over on Hearthstone. Jump over there, give the deck a +1, leave a lovely thoughtful comment like I know you will. My name's Tommy Wave, and until next time, stay safe, stay wavy, eat the rich, and be good. Bye. I hope you enjoyed that video. Check out other ones over here, or come subscribe to the Wave Pool for more excellent times.